Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Sam ReaN. Welcome to a brand new series upon the channel. We are talking everything about the Bahrain Grand Prix that took place at the Bahrain International Circuit for the first race of 2021. And what a race it was. It was a titanic battle between two of the greatest rivalries to date, and it ended in a bit of a controversy as always. In my opinion, Verstappen should have won the race, but thanks to the FIA, Lewis Hamilton won the race. Now, why am I saying this? Because of the controversy. Now, on radio, as I was watching the Sky Sports F1 broadcast live as always, Lewis said to his engineer that he has been going off track, gaining a advantage and basically gaining more lap time on Max Verstappen, who were leading the race. And then Lewis got told to keep it within the white lines and to stay on track, of course. And Verstappen got told that as well. Verstappen engineer told Verstappen basically to do what Mercedes had been doing throughout this race and go offline. So he did that, and there's two moments that cost Verstappen the gap he needed to overtake Hamilton, and that of course was when he went off road but gave the place back. I thought, like Sky, he could have gave the place back either on the main straight, or like Max said, he could have gained a 5-second advantage on Lewis, because he probably thought that he would be given a 5-second penalty. So yeah, and the end result was Hamilton winning. But the second mistake Verstappen made was he got a bit too close to Hamilton, and tiny bit of oversteer crept in off Verstappen and went a bit wide, leaving Hamilton to get that gap away from Verstappen. And so it was a intense battle. Everyone had their butts on their seats, on the edge of their seats, watching on, whether Hamilton fan or Verstappen fan or just a neutral. It was a titanic battle, a duel in the desert, and Lewis Hamilton has not had that since Nico Rosberg back in the day. So it was a fantastic result for Lewis, but I am confident that the pace of Red Bull, because at the moment I reckon the Red Bull is still faster than Mercedes. It was just because the little mistakes Verstappen made, like last minute, that Lewis had the confidence to gain a bit of the gap he needed and won that race. So I'm confident Verstappen will come back even stronger. Next up will be Imola, a track that hopefully Red Bull can be good at, and hopefully he can take it to Lewis Hamilton for that title. So that's the first point of the podcast today. Little discussion. Let me know down below what you reckon on Verstappen v Lewis. Obviously, they're saying that he should be called Sir Lewis. But overall, it was a big moment near the end. Everyone were on the edge of their seats, and a little reminder that fans came back to the circuit. Previously, the owners and organisation for the Bahrain circuit said only vaccinated fans can come back into the stadium, into the track. So welcome for new fans, which is a warm welcome. But yeah, hopefully there's more fans coming in the future races. Maybe Portugal, because recently, I know we're going off a bit off topic, but recently Barcelona hosted a live concert with up to 5,000 people attending, which was crazy. So hopefully, fingers crossed, fans at the Portuguese Grand Prix in the third race coming up, and who knows, fans may be at Imola. So yeah, that is a bit of the 6 minutes in. That is a bit of a good thing that fans are coming back and things are looking good for the future. So let's take you back to the start now, to the start of the Grand Prix at the Bahrain International Circuit. Fantastic start, fantastic getaway from Verstappen and Lewis, but they had to do one more formation lap because of Perez basically his electrics turned off on his steering wheel. But eventually he got going and started out from the pits. But overall the race was amazing. It was a great season opener, and yeah, Bahrain have not opened the season since 2010, I believe. So yeah, fantastic beginning, fantastic middle, and fantastic end. So pretty awesome to finally see that great drivers like Alonso, Vettel, Sainz, Ricciardo, the new drivers in their new teams, they had an up and down performance, but overall they did have a decent race. Some people mocking Sebastian Vettel on Twitter, so I reckon Vettel just needs time to gel in the team. He needs time to make that team his home, because at the moment it's Stroll's team, and who knows, maybe in a couple races it just needs to get grips with the Aston Martin. By the way, the Aston Martin looks fantastic under the lights of the Bahrain International Circuit. So yeah, the Aston Martin was fantastic, and yeah. So let's talk about the retirements. Now, Mazepin had a spin. Obviously, a lot of people will be trolling him and saying, "Oh, we should call him Mazepin, not Mazepin." But I reckon Mazepin is alright. It depends what he does in the future races, of course. But when Mick Schumacher spun at the background at the start of the race, I was worried then, because my hero was Michael Schumacher. So seeing Mick do whatever he could, 16th he ended up in the race. So not bad for young Mick Schumacher. His first ever F1 race, and his debut race. He's the same age as his father was back in the Jordan. So they both were 22 when they started their first F1 race debut, which was fantastic. So yeah, that, as you know, is fantastic, but only time would tell how good Haas can be this season. Who knows? So Sergio Perez, of course, he had a fantastic race. Sergio Perez from the pits, and he, as you can see, claimed 5th. Fantastic race from his point of view. It was amazing. Whenever there was like a quiet moment in the race, the camera just shoots to him and he just electrifies. He overtakes just like that on the main straight or anywhere else on the circuit. He's a force to be reckoned with. He's blown it out the water, his expectations. and I feel he's only going to get better. So just imagine if he didn't start from the pits and he started a bit in front of a lot of the other drivers. It would have been like right up there in the podium position. So yeah, the next thing we're going to be talking about is the drive of the race, and I think you know who that is. That is Sergio Perez. I'm going to give as the drive of the race. He has done fantastic this race. So yeah, next up, obviously we're going to be talking now more of the track limits. A lot of people obviously they're not really understanding of the track limits. Right, so they said that they were focusing on the track limits in practice and qualifying, but nothing said for the race until Verstappen's engineer said, keep doing what Lewis is doing, go off the track, gain the speed and the momentum going into that final corner bit at turn 4. And then as soon as the FIA heard about that, they probably just tried to clamp it down and told Lewis to never do that again. But the problem is, in what I think anyway, people say going off the track is allowed, but is not allowed when you're gaining a place on another person in front of you. But it's not allowed to, in my opinion anyway, shouldn't be allowed that Lewis gains the gap between him and Verstappen. Obviously, Lewis in second, Verstappen in front. So every lap he was taking that line off the track, gaining more. What's the word? More speed going at the exit of that turn, and as a result the gap just went down and down to a point where Verstappen pitted, of course, and the pit stops happened then. So I don't know about that, but overall it's a bit of a grey area. I personally, I would have gave Verstappen the win. Obviously, I thought at the time, before the podiums, they should do something, because they need to clamp down on the rules. It's like football. You have the rules there. I know they got VAR and all that, but you don't break the rules and then get away with it. Now, in terms of the track limits, Lewis has admitted on radio that he's been taking the line off track to either gain more speed on the entry of that swooping turn. Maybe went off track to gain more grip, which in equal would mean that he needs to get more speed and close the gap to Verstappen. And yeah, Verstappen's engineer was like, okay, Verstappen, can you do what Lewis has been doing most of the race and go off course until we get told otherwise? And that happened. So yeah, I don't want to ramble on, which I have been for 14 and 30 minutes, but I've got to put my stamp on it. It's cheating. Now, you shouldn't be allowed to go off track to gain more speed, effectively more time, to close that gap to the car ahead of you, Verstappen of course, but Lewis did it. He admitted he'd done it all the race, and the FIA did not do a damn thing about this until mid-race, where it was getting more intense and more close at the end. So whatever needs to happen quick before the next race, otherwise a lot of teams will be abusing that as well. And I mean, they should have onboards and all that, the FIA. They should know about these things, but I guess they don't actually look at the times and look how close he was getting to Verstappen. But that is a story for another time. But that is it then. That is it, excuse me, for today. Make sure you show love and support by subscribing to help out this channel and all that juicy jazz. I've been Samri. This is the the race reaction to the Bahrain International Grand Prix. And yeah, thank you for watching, listening, wherever you are. I will see you for the next race reaction, or for the race preview for the Imola Grand Prix in 2 weeks' time. Thank you for watching and listening, and